Hey everybody, this is jkpz28 with South Mississippi Gamers. I wanted to do a little video for y'all showing y'all some of the Ork stuff I've done here the last couple months. For many of y'all, you may not know, me and Anthony and that'd be Hinkle and Almighty DM Brandon, we all just recently got into wargaming in the last 2 years, so we haven't been around for too long. But my first army I ever played was Tau. And I ended up not liking them too much, so I waited, and when the new codex dropped, I ended up selling them and doing pretty decent. And but I've been collecting orcs after I'd finished my Grey Knight army, and the thing that drove me to the orcs was just the fun. They're a fun, goofy army, and you can do all types of stuff with them as far as customization goes, and just all the craziness of the orcs. Some people say they're too silly, but that's what I like about them. They're just kind of a fun charge, get in your face army, and all their little special rules like ramshackle and all that's pretty awesome. So just real quick, here's some of the paint schemes that I'm going with. Hopefully the light's decent enough. I'm going with a speed freak type army, the Evil Sun, so I'm incorporating a lot of red. And I got Grazul and the Big Boss, and then a big mech with a custom force field generator. Like I said, hopefully the light's not too bad. Alright, and really what I wanted to get into today was the fun you can have with the customization of an orc army, taking stuff and just really having fun with it. Just as an example, this is a warbiker. I had it done by paintedfigs.com. They actually painted it. It's the only thing I've ever actually have paid someone to paint. All my other stuff I painted myself, like the HQs I just had up. But they did a real good job. It was it was their lowest costing paint, which I believe they call the dip. But as in comparison, I wanted to have the Warbiker HQ for the orcs. I think it's Zagstruck. I'm trying to remember his name now. But so what I did was I took a plain Jane bare plastic Warbiker and kind of customized him out a little bit to get my HQ. Now he hadn't been painted yet, but I'm working on him. I got to get a base for him as well. What I did was is I took put him on the normal bike. I took some bits from the DACA jets and used those to kind of make him a custom little banner. I took 2 pieces from a battle wagon. I'm not even sure what the pieces were, but they just look cool. And I attached them together to make the power claw, and then used a piece from the war bike, the exhaust, to hook it up there to kind of give it a more of a mechanical look. And I took the chain, because this arm, before I put the claw on it, had a big chopper. So I actually hooked the chain to the claw, kind of give it a cool look. Also put some foot pegs on there for him. The shells coming out of the gun, that type of good stuff. On the back, I hooked him up using a bomb from the bombas from the orcs, and that took a good bit of work and a little bit of green stuff to cut that and get it to actually fit on there to where it looked like it belonged on the bike and just not just glued in place. So it took a little bit of work to trim it down, but with a little bit of effort, I have a $15 War Boss that's a special HQ that I think's pretty cool, a unique figure. Alright, so that's just one thing. The other project I've been working on is getting my 3rd battle wagon going, and instead of buying a battle wagon and putting it together and painting it, I bought a beat up Land Raider off of DACA and converted it. So this is my Land Raider I've been working on converting into a battle wagon. Right now all it has is the base coat on it, so I primed it and got it put together, but I got a little, put the ramshackle on it, 2 big guns coming out the front of the hull, a little grot on the double machine gun up front, lots of DACA. Over here I put a little side plank, kind of like a boarding plank idea, but and a knob hanging out the side with 2 axes. You know, we're just hoping to drive by something that can lop their head off. Added a couple more pieces from the jkpz bits. You know, some stick bombs here, a couple more little bits and pieces put together. What he's standing on is actually a wing piece from the jkpz that I cut up and converted. And on the back, I took the exhaust from a jkpz and put them on with the normal exhaust for the Land Raider. Added little Orky planks back there. You know, of course, had to get a little grok mechanic. See if I can get that to focus. It's not. There we go. You know, he's up there letting everybody know he's got it under control. And then out of the top, we have, you know, the knob that's running the show with this chopper and slugger. But, you know, I'm working on this right now. That shouldn't take me too long to get it painted up. But it just kind of show you, you know, you can get some orks and just be creative and do whatever you want, be as goofy as you want. For example, for my looted wagon, now this one's painted and done. I thought it'd be a fun idea for the orks to have looted some towel, because everybody loves towel now, right? So I took a devilfish and chopped it up quite a bit. Took some truck parts, put that on the front, gave them a little ramshackle too. Yanked some tires off of a toy, so I kind of stole the rims for that. Over here, some more jkpz pieces I was able to use. Now on top for the big gun, you know, the boom gun, it actually came from Horta Bits. It was a, I can't remember the game it's from, but it just happened to fit too perfect for me not to use it there. What you see on top is actually like a saber-tooth tiger pelt or something like that they had on there, but it fits. Orks are goofy. A little side step right there I added. You know, out the back we have, you know, a little ork watching over everything, and you got the driver and the cannon shooter here, and one guy on a big gun. You know, on this side, I think that's off of a, I think that's a IG bit that I threw on there. That's a base that I used to cover that piece of the hull up. Yeah, it was quite a bit of work. This chunk right here came from an ork truck, and I had to trim it out to actually get the cannon to fit in it correctly, but in the end it turned out looking pretty decent. I used some other bits from the truck to make it look like it was mounted, and then this piece right here for the guys to sit on. So yeah, it turned out really well. And of course, you know, ork's kind of dumb. You got to put the arrow showing them which way to fire the cannon. But that's my my looted wagon. Now the next one you may have seen before if you've been at our Apocalypse event, or if you saw the pictures from the Apocalypse event. But this is my custom Stompaz that I threw together. Anthony, or Hinkle, as a lot of people just call him Hinkle, he bought 2 monoliths when he was collecting Necrons, and they were some really, really junky monoliths. The guy he bought them from, he got a deal on them. He didn't really get ripped off. I mean, they cost him next to nothing. But the guy thought it was a good idea to use hot glue to put his models together. So they were terrible. They were off center. Nothing was square. Everything was crooked. And every time I saw them, all I kept thinking was, damn, that would make a perfect ork vehicle, because you know, nothing they have is symmetrical. So what I did was painted it up, orked it up a little bit. You know, no Necrons, because they don't like Necrons. We got the leader right here, you know, the commanding the ship. And a lot of these bits are from just all over trucks, battle wagons, actual Stompaz bits. But I left the big guns on. I left the guns on here from the monolithics. I thought they were pretty cool. And I put treads from a battle wagon on the bottom, so that's how it scoots around. And these pieces right here are also from a battle wagon. That's the bed of the battle wagon. I use those to make little side steps. You know, a little ladder going up the side. That's how they run around the monolith. And you got one guy over here. He's got his little headphones on, calling out orders. and then you got a mechanic. Go to the back, and we got another knob back here watching the back end. And over here we have a platform with a run up. And then you got a grot. You spin it around, a little grot right here. He's drilling on the side of the monolith. Yeah, getting it ready. The weapons on this thing were real rough. What I ended up doing was I took the spare bits I had from the Death Roller kit, which was another gun, and then some bits from the jkpz to make arms. So that was the first arm. And this is the gun right here, and it stopped right here. So then I took a big pin and cut it up and made this bar going out, and then used some other little bits to glue to it to kind of make it look like, you know, it's holding it in place. And then I took 3 of the boarding planks left over from some trucks I put together, and that's actually it's grab-a-claw. I forget what they call it, the one that shoots out and grabs stuff and pulls it to the Stompa. Over here I used the same technique for the first part of the arm. I took the gun that I had 2 Death Roller kits and some bits from some jkpz and made his elbow part. And right here is just another pin that I trimmed up, painted up, and put a little crosshair and a searchlight on it to give it a decent little look. But now that was my Stompa that I ran at our Apocalypse game day a couple months back. You know, we had a lot of fun with it. And I had the second monolith that Anthony had that I was going to put together for him because he was going to run orcs too. But he ended up getting rid of his orcs and told me, just, hey, have fun with it. So just last week I completed my second monolith, Stompa. And I actually decided to make it one that like it was flying. So on this one, I boarded up all these pieces, threw on the orc bits to make it look nice. Decided to have one orc coming out of the transportation teleporter portal on the front of the monolith, so I thought that would be kind of cool, like as if the orcs were smart enough to use it. Put him some big bombs under here, some wings, lots of DACA guns, missiles on the side or bombs, and left the monolith guns because I thought they were cool. We got the head, and if you look, you can see the ladder I have running from underneath the head up, kind of like what they would use to get around. Some more bombs, some more DACA. Over here we have our guy. He's loading up the guns, and some little ladders here and there. And I like this guy. It turned out better than I thought it would, but let's see if I can get it to focus. This little grot, he's flying the ship. So I had to rig it up to where it looked like he had a flight stick in his hand. So that was really hard to get that to work with those tiny bits, but it ended up working. And over here, another little grot waiting to work. Little control screen on the back that I painted up. And another grot here. He's hanging out, doing what orcs do, being silly. I took the power crystal, whatever that thing's called for Necrons. I attached it to the back, so like they're still using it to generate power to the machine. And I had it glued up to a regular old flight stand, but I did a little bit of scenery on it. Some mud and rocks and grass and burnt grass. But the pipes coming up the back for exhaust. But you kind of get the idea. I mean, that's the fun part about orcs, is just being silly and making whatever you want and getting to be creative with your models. So if you're looking for something fun to play, I definitely recommend orcs. It's fun to put your work into it, and it's good. A lot of people will give you compliments on how nice it looks and how cool it is. I never thought of that, or wow, I hadn't seen that yet. you know, most every other army, it's, oh yeah, everybody has that Land Raider, but I mean, how many devilfish, you know, looted wagons with boom guns have you seen? But that's it. This is my custom Ork bits, and I'm still working on some other things. So once I finish up the Land Raider and the biker HQ, you know, I'll get some pictures of them up online. But that's it. Thank you.